All right, we are live. Hopefully, y'all can hear me. Together. How's that? Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Just had to get the links out. Welcome everybody joining us. We are going to be doing a PC build for a customer that we had. We do offer, as mentioned in the description, custom PC builds for you and anybody with a where we can work on any budget. There'll be a little bit of overhead in terms of the parts and $150 build fee for said PC build. Now, for this one, we have a couple of tools we're going to be using. We got my nice little number two Phillips screwdriver, little number one Phillips head screwdriver, a thing of thermal paste that'll be used in just a second. and wire clippers. Simplest thing to start off with is to do the CPU, which is what we have set up right here. CPU we have in question today, focus, is a i7 2700K. Still very, very competitive in today's gaming PC market. Although it is now 2 or 3 generations older than the current meta. That doesn't really matter in terms of it, but it's very simple to install. And as you can see, we are done. So before we get the cooler actually install the RAM, which got a very nice pair of Crucial DDR50 or DDR5 6000 speed, 32 gigs, I believe. Yes. Which, personally speaking, I would say 30. As the gaming landscape changes, that number obviously is going to keep going up. And 32 gigs is now what I would consider the bare minimum for a PC build of this type. Anything else won't work the way you want it to, and you'll always have to upgrade later. So, it's always best to overspec, so that way when the overspec becomes the regular spec, you're already that much ahead. Now we're going to work on the cooler, which is you're going to see is a Thermalright dual channel dual tower air cooler. Very simple to install. These are the spacers we're going to use for it. Let's put those right here. I will say too, if at any point you have any questions about the build, just do feel free to comment. I'm following the comments live as we speak, so definitely type out your questions now if you have any. We'll mention again that this is actually something that we want to start doing here at Hilton's Computer Repair or more often. The custom builds is something that I personally specialize in, and although I am going out of the tech industry like full time, I still absolutely adore doing this. So it's always this is fun. Honestly, that's the best thing, is that it's fun. So we're going to put the thermal paste. There we go. The beautiful thing about this build is that it is such a common one for me. So this stream shouldn't be too long in the grand scheme. Actually, just need this stuff that I've done time and time again. But there are some really cool things that we're going to be doing with the build that I feel that you guys are going to enjoy. Now, as you can see, I'm pulling out this is the heatsink for the M.2 SSD. Personally speaking, I feel that every modern computer should have one of these in there instead of a regular hard drive. They're so much better, so much more capacity, so much faster. So it's literally straight from the hard drive hooked directly into the PC. As you can see, this board has 1, 2, 3 different spots for it. I'm actually going to preset up all 3 of them. They might not ever be used, but it's always a good thing to do that now versus not doing that and needing to do it later. So the best part is just have to hand tighten these. There's no like having to forcefully do anything more than that. Yeah, that's where this little guy's gonna come in. We'll say this is actually an older way of doing this, like these screws and nuts. Some of the modern motherboards actually have a different version of that. I'm gonna pull off this. This is a heatsink for said CPU. I don't know why it's on the other side. Go. And that's 1 terabyte of hard drive storage is never gonna be seen by the naked eye again unless we pull it out for some reason. Now to install the fans on this guy because I honestly forgot that, but it's such a minor detail. It's all right. Sorry about that. As you can see, we actually did the low clearance RAM because these fans are so huge, they're going to cover it. Although that was probably really loud for you, I apologize. Although the modern RAM does come with RGB an option, I did not include that in this customer's build because of that fact. It's actually a lot better, in my opinion, to have the RGB and everything. If you're not going to see this, if you're not going to see these, don't waste the money. Just use what's effective and use what's practical for the build itself. Like if you're gonna have liquid cooling in your PC, absolutely, by all means, make it as flashy as possible. In fact, for a lot of the builds I've done in the past for clients, that has been like one of their only methods of RGB lights, and half the time they turn them off anyway. So, but for this one, I just went with what the advantage or would be the most looking for, which is this exact moment right here. So we're going to put it sideways so I can actually see it, and you can see it to a point. Just put that right there. I will say some less powerful or smaller motherboards, they don't come with the two CPU connectors that I just did right here. In fact, that's why this guy comes with this little thing, which is a USB, which is basically like a USB splitter, but for fans. So it will take the power from one, put it into two. But luckily, we don't need to use that, so just gonna put it off to the side. We should be good other than that. Yes, yes, yes. We're going to connect these two together. Give it a nice click. I hope you guys heard that. Now, I will say that all of our builds are, like, honestly painstakingly cable managed. I will fix this later to where it's not visible to the customer or anybody else. In fact, they can kind of do something along those lines right now by just doing this. And before anyone asks, no, it will not affect performance. It's like these cables are heat tested for the most part to be able to withstand this, and that doesn't look too bad. You might also notice I already have one of the power cables connected on this. This cable is not going to be taken out by me personally during this build because it's a pain in the butt to put in, honestly. So I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys. I don't like dealing with the CPU cooler, especially when I have it in the case for the PC itself. So I just do that as early as possible. Usually right before the build is started, I'll put those in because it's a lot easier and a lot less time consuming. All right, so got everything set up on this. Put this back up here. Now to bring out the big guy. It's our graphics card. Again, doing a pre-fit thing. You might notice I have it like this. That's actually because for the build, we have one of these guys. I guess I got to make sure it's going to fit right, which it will. I double checked earlier. I just wanted to show on camera that I did. But the main thing to do right now this is what I like to affectionately call first boot protocol. Before we go any further, it's always good practice to or make sure everything works, obviously. So I'm just going to connect everything the way it's supposed to on this power supply, which I have read just right there. This beautiful guy right here. So the one that's actually going to go inside the PC case in a second. But CPU. I'm going to tilt you. There. You see that screen? It's upside down, obviously, because that's what this is going to be. But yes, show the RGB, show the fan spinning, and let's see this first boot. It would help if I plugged it in. Sorry about that. We're just gonna let it go through a couple boot cycles. This is actually very typical, unfortunately. And there we are. Good. We got everything good. That's gonna be for later. I'm gonna install Windows off camera because it's actually really, you don't really see that. I just wanted to make sure it worked. So that's where we're just gonna power down. Bring it back up like this. And we're gonna get started on taking everything back apart. Power cable I'm not going to remove as mentioned previously, and there we are. So we're done with the actual the tower itself. You can see here we're all set. Let's put this off to the side. Clear a little bit more room. Now, the most commonly forgotten thing to put into a case is the motherboard I/O shield. What this is, for those who don't know, is where all of your connections are tied into. So, in this case, it'll be the PS2 port, USBs. This is DisplayPort, HDMI, SSD, Ethernet, HDMI, audio, and the Wi-Fi signal. So, put that in this big boy right here. And it's keyed in one very specific way, where it's going to fit this way out. Just do that right here. You might see a little bit of my pink shirt. As you and we got the pre-installed fans and all that situated. We're gonna bring back out the motherboard. There we are. As you can see, we are set up. Now it's time, given with every case, is a thing of screws. And really, this is where I kind of messed up. Not gonna lie, I should have looked at the screw, what screw went what or with what before I did this. But it's not that big a deal. Assuming it's these guys. It usually is. This is where the long screwdriver I was using earlier comes in. Very handy. Apologies for the background noise. Obviously, since we are indeed a business, we do have a lot of customers coming in and out. So just a casual day-to-day for us. I'm going to double check something. I just noticed something that could have been detrimental to everything. I'm actually going to pull this out. Apologies for that. Okay, good. What I was just double checking there was this motherboard is unique. Some of them have 3 screws on the end, and they're actually screw holes that are standoffs that equate to those. And assuming that I didn't check and I did have them, that could have led to a very big problem for me later on. So we're good. I didn't. But my precautions are for the betterment of the customer, basically. So we got one more screw to go. I will say that unfortunately, like this is like the most boring and repetitive part of a PC build, but I am trying to make it a little bit more. It's the most important, really. Just can't really have a PC outside the case. Well, you can just, well, you know what I mean. Again, trying to make this a little bit more entertaining for you guys. Don't mind me. Yes. We are. That's finally done. Let's put this guy on here as a precautionary measure. All right, so you see, we got the GPU. This is a GPU vertical bracket. Actually, will help out with the sag. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug in. This is the first time we're seeing these beautiful up here PCI extension cables, which is what I'm going to have on all this part of like this and the actual GPU or the CPU power. I'm just going to have these moved to where they are just out of the way. Gonna adjust the one for the CPU cooler. And we're gonna plug that point in right here. So essentially we are like in terms of how it looks, it's pretty much done and done for. It's all a matter of pulling this in, getting it more taut, getting it looking better. Because obviously I want this to look as good as it runs. And it's going to run fantastic. Now we're going to come to the point where a lot of the stuff that we're doing is off camera, unfortunately. good thing I didn't take this apart, because I just realized I need to get back behind here. I kind of messed up. I'm going to take this off, because I have two very important cables I completely forgot about, and it's a lot easier to get them when they are not, or when the graphics card is not blocking the entire way. Nothing else that showed you what the graphics card is going to look like inside when we're all done, said and done with it, which really can't complain too much. Also, it was very important for me actually to get this one, because it is in such a way where if I didn't, alright, so cable number one, which is the audio for the front panel. A lot of builders nowadays will actually say this is a unnecessary part of it. Personally speaking, I am not one of those people. I do not care what the quote unquote what they say is important or not. If it's a aspect of the case, if it's a thing that I know for a fact, if I was going to use, someone else is going to use, I'm putting it in because I'd rather it be in and not used, and then not, or instead of not being used and someone wondering where it is. That's my little soapbox rant of the day, and I'm pretty sure it's not that big a deal. At the same time, that'd be really kind of funny if a bunch of PC builders that are like, no, it needs to be like this. It's actually like yada yada yada. I could really care less. My whole thing is, if it's a feature, then why would you not want it? This one actually has all five. It has LED, harness. I realize you cannot see what I'm doing, and again, I apologize for that. Just so let's talk to this one specifically because I know that the you or the owner of the PC is about to be watching, this is a LED switch. So this is if anything goes wrong with the power button on the PC, turn this into a power button. It is useless right now because the LEDs are going to be controlled via our lovely power supply right here, or our lovely motherboard right here. So, speaking of that, I'm going to get those in as well. Put that simple enough to do. Put that right here. Again, it's better to have everything wired up. That was a costly mistake that I almost made, so do as I say, not as I do type of thing. I have those every now and then. As do any modern PC builders. I will say this, I'm actually making fantastic time, all things considered, for this build. Not only is this me showing you everything that's going into the computer, but yeah, I'm not going to use these. I'm going to use... Oh my goodness, I didn't notice that we had a chatter. Yelling, how's it going? How's it going, my friend? Welcome to sorry, I just noticed you or chatting. I didn't even... Yeah, it came with thumb screws. I'm not going to use the thumb screws because they're a little bit more meticulous than I care to want to do right now. So yes, this is me being lazy. You can turn it into a power button actually by, if anything happened to the main power button, that's basically can act like a secondary. It's not plugged in right now because it's unneeded. Usually actually on the reset switch is what that one's on. Well, sometimes for people that have the USB hubs, then in the back, the reset switch is used instead, just in case they don't have the RGB connector. So that's what that is. It's basically like pre-wiring just for that. Ironically, or admittedly, very specific need set, but it's always a good thing to have it because, personally speaking, I'd rather have that button than, or if I don't have the ability connected to the case itself, but we're good otherwise in this case, quite literally. Anyway, you can see this is what it's going to look like. Let's see if I can actually make it where you can see even a little bit of the. Almost forgot that. So yeah, this was that cable. Going up. Let's connect this real quick. This is the USB-C cable for the front. That's looks now. You can see a little USB 3.0 connector right here. It's gonna be basically sandwiched in between these two. Look very nice, actually. I'm actually very happy with this. It's gonna look very, very clean when I get done with it. Now for the spot that, honestly, if done quote unquote right, could take you hours or literally less than 20 minutes, depending on how much time you want to put into it. The back panel. You can see I have this power supply in here. I'm going to just get that screwed in real quick. There you are. Okay, good. Found the screws for the supply. Hey. My cable management is going to be amazing. I have plenty of zip ties to help me cheat. Actually, yelling, I can. If you ever look at the back of your boyfriend's PC, you'll see exactly how good the cable management I'm able to do, because I think I worked on his for about 3 hours because I kept resetting it. the thing about cable management too, cable management and unfortunately thermal paste application, everyone has a different way to do it, and everyone else is wrong. Like, I've been told that my cable management sucks by others that saw it. They're like, yeah, no, I would have done it like this. I'm like, okay, this is how I did it though. So you did it wrong then? No, I did it the way that I did it. Yeah, but you did it wrong. As mentioned, I do have plenty of zip ties, but I'm only going to use like maybe 6 or 7. I don't want to put too much effort into this, as this is going to be shipped, and it'll be a lot easier to fix for the next person if things go right. That's what I just did right there. That one. Nice and straight. Where right here? Yeah, that was just a mosquito bite that got, or not mosquito bite. That was a dog bite that got messed up. Training puppies is not one thing that's like, it doesn't hurt or anything like that. It just looks bad. It was a puppy bite, like I said. I've shown you a picture. I think I've shown you a picture of my new dogs. But yeah, I got one right here, and then one right here, and right here. I did not expect it to be this easy, but yeah, simple, cleaned. Like I said, like I wasn't gonna put too much effort and time into this, only because I know that it's like cable management is a double-edged sword where like it's very good to have it, and if I wanted to, I could probably go way more insane with it. But the simplicity of it, like this, will especially this little bag that actually came with the PC. No, actually, because these are like I did this one before. These are raised up, and the fans are being blocked by the little brackets right here. I planned ahead. Yeah, little like this is gonna specifically for the owner of this PC. This bag is going to have all the extra cables in case you ever do any upgrades down the line. Just going to be put back right back here, out of sight, out of mind. In the meantime, I'm gonna show you what it looks like in the front. And I am very, very happy, very pleased that it's only these 3 cables on the side, this cable barely on the front, and then you don't even see anything in the top corner. Like, really, you're not going to be looking up there anyway. That's the most neglected part of the computer. So it looks clean. I love how this looks already. So we're going to plug it back in. And I just want to see this one start again before we go ahead and wrap up the stream again for the night. I just have to install Windows. I don't think you guys really need to see that. I just want to see what this looks like all turned on, all pretty. So. Oh, nice. Look at that. That that beautiful RGB rainbow vomit goodness. As you can see, we're just going to wait for this screen to show that I have anything on it, which it should. Do a couple boots around, and there we go. Ta-da! We are good. And yes, you're absolutely right. Do remember to activate Windows. Windows will be activated by the time I get this one taken care of. That's not that hard for me to do. I already have the Windows key and everything set up. Just gotta install it. But yeah, that's for anyone watching. Really, that's the basics of this. It's very get these done very quickly. As soon as, usually when we get the parts, we can get them done same day, as long as nothing goes airy, which thankfully looks like this one did not. I just need to just like close her up, which will. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. Yeah, you joke, but there actually exists now a build your own laptop kit. It's an actual Windows 10 or Windows 11 laptop. It's surprisingly like well spec'd. Yeah, the framework one is actually what I'm talking about. Just getting the back panel taken care of. I'm going to have that right there. And final piece of the puzzle. Is there we go. Now I'm going to leave the peels. That's going to be for the customer to do. I believe this one doesn't have an inner one. But yeah, the two outer peels, that'll be for you guys to do for yourself. Should be fine. Should be good. Take a sip. Don't worry, Yelling. I did read it. We might not be able to do a lot of things to it if it's over 10 years old. Like the best we can do is give it an SSD upgrade and maybe a RAM upgrade. But it is possible. We can talk to you about that in private if you want to. We do that all the time. Actually, SSD upgrades are a very common thing to do for PC builds or for laptop builds specifically, because if you have a laptop, you need to go faster. The SSD is usually the best bet in order to put more RAM in it, which older ones might, or that give you a little bit more of an option for that. The newer laptops, sometimes the RAM is wired directly to the motherboard, which makes it more of a challenge for us to do anything with them. So I'm going to turn this on again real quick because it's like, how can I not be proud? How can I not look like this? It's like, that just looks pretty. That just looks good. Even as I like calling it the rainbow vomit. I'm gonna probably set these up to be all mono blue or blue and black is like, honestly, like blue and black is probably my favorite color combination for a PC. I don't know how you're doing that. That's just really funny though. 1 second. That's more than fine. Like, I'm gonna keep this on a little bit longer because I'm messaging the owner of this brand new beautiful PC. I just want to to make sure that they are good with it. Hello. So, what do you think? Give you a little bit more of a unbiased view, not reflected by the. Pretty Bill is pretty. I love hearing that. So yeah, like I said, the only thing I need to do for this one now is just get Windows 11 on it, get it all activated, get all the RGB done. Oh, of course. And the best part is you can actually watch this back. Apologize in advance for all the times I wasn't talking because I was actually busy doing stuff or on it. But yeah, everything's all taken care of. I'm gonna make the. I hope that he enjoys it because I also enjoy these and the fact that all the fans are going to be all blue. Like I said earlier, blue and black. It's a beautiful color combination. Black goes with anything really. So. It's going to be really nice for him. And yeah, I think that's actually where I'm going to wrap it up as we are done with this right now. Yes. Once again, everybody, if you are interested in the future, for anyone watching this either live or down the line, if you're interested in a PC build, contact us. Our link, the links for everything is in our description. The links for everything is in the description. Just go ahead and give us a contact. I cannot guarantee that all the builds are going to be live streamed as this one was. This one, I just wanted to do this to get it out there that we're doing these type of things now for the for Helton's computer repair. But if you are interested, just give me or my buddy Robbie a shout, and we will definitely help out with that. For now, thank you all for watching, and see you later.